Good morning. Welcome back to another Saturday class. It's going to be youth and adults, beginners and intermediate, all ages. Okay, let's begin. Stand shoulder width, round out, turn. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3. So I'll slow down the movements if you're just logging in. If you're a beginner, that way you can follow. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3. Next, palms in front of you. You're going to tilt forward. You're going to stretch. Just go as far as you can. If you're not too flexible, that's okay. 1, 2, 3. Switch to your right. 1, 2, 3. Switch to your left. 1, 2, 3. Palms up. Inhale. Palms down. Exhale. Again. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Palms up. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, palms in your waist. Waist rotations to your right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Perfect. Cross your hands. Knee rotations to your right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Palms in your waist. Neck exercises. Turn to your right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Tilted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Okay, next rotations. 1, 2, and 3. Switch. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, the breathing. Palms up. Inhale. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, open up your stance. Heels out, toes out, heels out. 4 times. Perfect. Okay, turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Okay, you're gonna switch to your right. Interlace the fingers, turn to your right, stretch. 1, 2, 3, switch. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, stand up. You're gonna stretch, bend from the waist. Just go as far as you can. If you're flexible, try to bring your chest to your knee. Just go as far as you can. Don't forget to breathe. Try not to hold your breath. Switch. Okay, switch. Switch. Okay, middle. Turn to your right. Switch. Turn to the opposite side. Middle. Okay, open up if you can. Just go as far as you can. Okay, close it up a little bit. You're gonna bend one knee. You can put your toe up. Switch. Okay, switch. Put your toe down. Switch. Okay, middle. Close it and shake it out. Deep breathing. Inhale. 1. Thumbs up. 2. And 3. Okay, feet 3 inches apart. Okay, take your right hand in front of you. You're gonna punch to your middle, to the center of your body. Begin. Okay, switch. Okay, next. to the side. Try to gaze the direction you're going to punch. Okay, switch. Okay, next, both palms up. Okay, slightly turn, bring the hand down, one up. Okay, continue. Take your time if you're a beginner. If you're intermediate, a little bit more advanced, you can speed it up. Okay, next, the edge of the fist to the side. Okay, switch. Okay, next, both palms up. Circular motions, one after the other. Continue. Okay, with the back of the fist. Okay, to the side. Okay, switch. And last one. Okay, next, palms up. Deep breathing. Inhale up. Gently exhale down. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. Let me just fix the mic because it's not cooperating today. I think that's good. It's not going to fall. Okay, we're going to do the basic punches in the horse stance. Okay, feet 3 inches apart. Slightly bend your knees. Heels out. 1, 2, 3 and a half. And then if you're standing up, actually bend your knees. Perfect. So this is the horse stance. Punching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Close. 1, 2, and 3. Low block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Extend your arm. Close. 1, 2, and 3. Middle block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Extend. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, high block. Eyebrow level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Extend. 1, 2, and 3. All 3 blocks. Low, middle, high. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, and 3. Extend, close, 1, 2, and 3. Low block and punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Both arms in front, close, 1, 2, and 3. Middle block and punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Both arms extend. 1, 2, and 3. High block, punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Extend. 1, 2, and 3. Palms together. Okay, you're going to bend the thumbs. Then your last 3 fingers. You're going to press to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Eyebrow level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, you're gonna thrust. Turn your palms over. Rotate. Close. 1, 2, 3. Okay, close your stance. Heels in, toes in, and shake it out. Okay, deep breathing. 1, gently down. 2, and 3. Next, we're going to go through a couple of the basic kicks. You're going to stand in a leaning stance. Take your right foot, slide it back. You should be in a leaning stance. Both palms up. You're going to do 2 punches, 2, raise your knee, and kick with the instep. Okay, 6 counts. Let me fix the mic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switch, left side. So you should be kicking with your left foot. Okay, 2 punches and a kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Switch. Next, you're going to switch to the heel kick. 1, 2, raise your knee and push with the heel. So this part of your foot. Okay, 6 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to switch. Should be in the leaning stance. You're going to kick with your left foot. Palms up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switch. Next, you're going to kick straight up. Try not to bend the knee. Just kick as far as you can. If you're not flexible, that's okay. Palms up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oop, I did one more. Gonna switch. Should be kicking with your left foot now. 2 punches and a straight up kick. Try not to bend the knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switch. Next kick is going to be waist level. They call it roundhouse. 1, 2, bring your knee around, turn, kick, hands up, bring it back, down. Okay, 6 counts. Palms up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, next, switch. You should be kicking with your left foot now. Palms up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shake it out. Okay, last set of kicks. Should be in the leaning stance. Bring your right foot back. It's going to be the roundhouse again. This time to the head. So just kick as high as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Switch. Leaning stance. Palms up. Kick with your left foot now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Perfect. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, get a drink of water. If you were at the academy, usually by now we get a drink of water. So I'm going to go to all 4 forms. First form, Muay Thai Kun. Second form, Lao Gao Kun. Third form, Bamba Kun. And the fourth form, Jen Jen. First, I'm going to go over the 5 stances. All right. So I'm going to, hopefully everyone can see me. From the back, I'm going to be doing it. Feet 3 inches apart, palms down. Okay, begin. 1, 2, open. 3, turn, press. 1, 2, close your fingers, pull. 1, open up. 2, 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3. Close. 1, salute. 1, 2, 3. Okay, set up your hands. Middle block. Bend your knees, open up. Offset horse stance, block. Next, you're going to do a slide step. Turn to leaning punch. Step up, remove. Turn your body and punch. 1, cross step, double block, or they call it dragon's tail. Spin, corner back fist, eyebrow level, block. Suspended or cat stance, punch. Step back, offset, leaning. Okay, up, you're gonna scoop. Step 1, if you cannot jump or hop, you can just step. Chop, leaning, uppercut, and close. Shake it out, deep breathing. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. I know sometimes Lucian does it this way, so I'm going to do it this way, just to follow his routine. Okay, so I'm going to face you guys, but I'm going to step this way so I don't go off the camera. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, open. 1, 2, pull. 1, open. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, 1. Salute. Close. 1, 2, 3. Set up your hands. Okay, bend your knees, offset horse stance, block, slide step, turn to leaning, punch. You're gonna switch, step up, remove, turn, punch. Okay, cross step, dragon's tail or double block. Okay, spin, corner back fist, eyebrow level. Step 1, you're gonna block, punch, 2, 3, 4, up. Good. So I'm gonna hop, step down, chop, uppercut, close, shake it out. Deep breathing, inhale. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we'll do that. Now I'm gonna face the camera. Okay, feet 3 inches apart. Okay, 1, 2, open, turn, press, turn your palms, pull. 1, open, 1, 2, 3. Okay, you're gonna thrust up, press, thrust to the side. 1, 2, close. 1, 2, 3. Set up your hands, bend your knees, open up, horse stance, offset, block, slide step, turn to leaning, punch, step up, remove, turn and punch. 1, cross step, dragon's tail, spin, corner back fist, block, cat stance, punch, step back, set up your hands, should be an offset, horse stance, leaning, up, so you're gonna hop, chop, uppercut, should be in a leaning stance, close. Okay, that was the 5 stances. Deep breathing. 1, 2, and 3. Next will be the first form, Muay Falcon. Stand this way. Okay, again, feet 3 inches apart, palms on the side. Okay, begin. 1, middle block. 2, you're gonna bend the knees. 3, step. 4, suspended or cat stance. Salute. 1, step back. 1, 2, close. 3. Okay. 1, 2, open up, offset horse stance, high block, low block, twist stance, dragon. Set up your hands, step back, scoop. Ready? Uppercut. Remove. Okay, leaning, block, punch. Squat down, step back to leaning, uppercut. Remove, turn, punch. Suspended. So they call it suspended or cat stance. Horse stance. Lean to the rear, lean forward, drunken fist. High block, turn, punch. Squat down, one more time. Uppercut, slide step, punch. Okay, next, you're gonna step, okay, ready, down. 1, trap down. I'm gonna move to the side, just in case. Okay, cross, turn. 1, 2, 3, step. 1, elbow. 2, palm. Okay, high block. Outside crescent kick, hop, kick, step down, press, trapping hand, back fist. Okay, remove, turn, punch, step. 1, 2, block, slide step, turn to leaning stance, palm, scoop, press, kick, punch, dragon, step back. 1, slide step, turn to leaning, punch, middle block, salute. 1, 2, 3. So that was the first one. Deep breathing. 1, 2, and 3. we still got plenty of time. So now we're going to do the second form. Lao Gao Kun. Okay. Feet 3 inches apart. 1, 2, bend your knees. 3, step, turn. 1, 2, 3, salute, turn. 1, 2, close. Double punch, up, down, open, press. 1, 2, 3, step back, leaning. So this is like the fast stances. Okay, chop, scoop, press, kick, punch. Okay, step back. 1, 2, slide step, turn to leaning, punch, step up, diagonal punch, double block, middle block, dragon, cross step, spin. Okay, palm, scoop, press, kick, hop back or jump back, thrust, open, chop, diagonal punch, 45 degrees, blade kick, phoenix eye. Okay, step, slide step, punch, elbow, strike down, back fist, step, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, step, 1, 2, scoop, press, kick, switch, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Set up your hands, turn. Okay, butterflies, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Step, 1, 2, step back, 3. Offset, leaning, chop, elbow, palm down, back fist. Set up your fingers. Step, 1, 2, 3. 1. Step back, 1, 2, and 3. Shake it out. Deep breathing. 1, 2, and 3. Next, we're going to go over the third form, Bambukun. That's the northern form, praying mantis. Okay. Feet 3 inches apart. Okay. Palms up. Begin. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you're gonna hop, punch, switch. Okay, up, step, 1, 2, 3. Step through, punch, 1. Cross step, pull and punch, elbow, back fist. Set up your hands, thrust, pull, high block, change your fist, scoop, step. Okay, up, 1, 2, 3. Punch, hold it up, step up, uppercut. 1, 2, 3. Step through, 1. Pull down, 1, 2, 1, 2, high block. Step across, chop, scoop, double elbow, pull, 1, 2, punch. Set up your hands, scoop, 1, 2, 3. Kick, 1, 2, slap, 1, uppercut, 2, 3. Step to the other corner, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 3 punches, 1, 2, 3. Switch, uppercut, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hook, back fist. Step, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, step, 1, and 2. Shake it out. Deep breathing. Inhale. 1, 2, and 3. And we still have time for the fourth one. Yep. So I'm going to actually stand here. Hopefully you guys can see me. All right. Stand 3 feet apart. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Step back. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Up, down. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1. Thrust, down. Turn. 1, 2. Thrust. Close. And then you're actually going to go up. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2. Scoop. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Up, down. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Step. Double block. Thrust. Turn. 1, 2. Repeats itself. Step. Thrust. Turn. 1, 2. Step back. Block. Scoop. Uppercut. Remove. Turn. 1, 2. Step. Scoop. Uppercut. Remove. Punch. 1, 2. Step. 1, 2. Okay, slide step. 1. Step up, horse stance. Double block. 1, 2. Scoop. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Close. Step 45 degrees to the corner. Corner back fist. Step. 1. Slide step. Punch. Step up. Elbow. Strike down. Back fist. Cutting hands. Palm. Turn. You're going to jump. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Cross step. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Set up your foot and your hands. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Scoop. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Step 1, 2, and 3. You actually can hop. Close. 1, 2, 3. Close. 1, 2, and 3. Deep breathing. 1, 2, and 3. And then see if it's going to come in. I'm going to turn my mic off. There we go.
So, what we have today, so it's the weekend, so we have, another 20 minutes or so on, on the intermediate advanced. So, working with the forms, as you know, building the sequential memory is something that by now you probably realize that the only way to memorize a form is by doing it over and over again. But back to the idea of what we talk about structure and structural positioning. When we're in a horse stance, we have a weight distribution. It's 50-50. And when we shift our weight, and that's something that we brought up in the Tai Chi, but also when we shift our weight and turn, the accuracy of this turning really makes a difference in how we perform as far as what we call the lower and upper coordination. So when we're in a position like this and we go to offset horse, just between this and this, there's a kind of a transition that allows us to face this way. So if you haven't realized it by now, when you pull this leg back, that's the direction we're headed in. So to make a 180-degree turn, we have to pull it across this much and then do this. So if you just go from here and just do this, you're going to be kind of off balance. So before you actually shift and you want to go that direction, you have to kind of go through the leaning and back to the horse, slide, and then punch. So if in the leaning position, it's easier to do this than from a horse stance doing this. So if you from a horse stance, you shift the weight a little bit this way. That gets you lighter on that back leg. So you always have to take weight off your leg in order to shift it. So that's something that you can build over time. And the more sensitive you are to do that, that happens spontaneously, automatically. So that's the idea of shifting your weight. Once you're here and you take your step, even when you take your step, just think about this. Before you move this foot, you actually push back a little bit. Because if you leave the weight here, you actually can't move. So a lot of times when we do the sliding step, people want to move the back foot first. But actually in the sliding step, we move the front foot first. So the front foot movement actually is a little bit of a back and forward movement, back and forward. So that little bit of shift backward and forward gives you the opportunity to take that little bit of a step. So a sliding step is really going back a little and then moving. So once you take that step, then you pull the weight back across till you balance that position. So that's what happens in a sliding step. Now, when we're in a horse stance and we adjust this way, the same thing happens, and then we pull it back. But because we're so focused on the hands, we don't see the leg making that transition. But ultimately, when we realize as an automatic movement that it would just happen, and then you turn. So in the fourth form, we have a position like that. We'll go like this, and then we turn. So just kind of look at that movement. When I shift this way slightly, then start to bring it back, and then pivot as I bring the weight over to here. That allows you to get into this trapping hand. So the leg work there, right here, here, and here. And then the opposite happens. You're going to push to here. So this knee has to relax, and then we turn to here. Then we start to shift this way. When it starts to shift, then you turn like this. So why is that important? Because a lot of times when you're in the fourth form and you're working through those leg transitions, this is sometimes what happens. All right, we're doing this, and what do we see is just the hands going like this. We're not taking the movement all the way down to the legs. So when we're like this, even though we're not doing this in fourth form, you have to do this. So if this is easier, you turn like this, okay, and then you go back, you're going to hook, do this. So turn your foot out to get you to the other side. That sets up that leg. And if you don't do that, because all we're focusing on is the hands, you're not going to get your hips to do this. And if you don't do this, then you're not in the stance and in the proper direction. So if I'm facing the camera, you can see that when I do this and I turn, my palm goes through the knee and it lines up here, right? And the opposite side, I would do this and this, okay? So you can see from here to here, from here to here. So that's transitioning from this to this to this, this to this to this. So in place of this, we have this, okay? So hopefully that's going to help you get into the stances better, because a lot of times we don't pay attention to that. So when I bring it up, it just brings your awareness down into that leg area so that your leg work will be improved upon. And like anything else that you do, if you don't practice it like that, you really can't learn it. You have to go through this, sort of what I call mindfulness, or paying attention to what you're supposed to do, and then eventually that'll happen. That happens in the lower part of your body, and then everything else in the upper body, you've been copying. So you have to bring some of your understanding down to the legs. It's even, even when you bend your knee and you sink, the first time, you're not really in the stance. So when we salute and we sink, that's what we're trying to do, is learn to sink so that our body brings strength into the down direction. Because when you block like this, you have your forearm, and that's what we call our bridge, and that's your block. But then when you bring that down with a little bit of firmness in your arm, I don't want to say tension because then everybody will start locking it up. When you bring this down like this, you see what happens to my arm when I do this? It goes along with the downward direction. So that's one way of intercepting and then dropping, because that creates a downward force. It doesn't happen when you go like this in the same way, because this way you're actually dropping and you're leaning into like this. This way you go like this, then you can turn. So between this, and this is a change in direction, a multi-dimensional change. That's how you build sort of volume into your movement. Because if you block a punch and then you just hold it there and you're stiff, like you can see there's some rigidity there, you're kind of immobile. So what happens when you block and you sink and you turn, if you just focus on this point, this is an imaginary point. If I go like this and you see this point, it went down. Okay. When I go like this, it went across. When I came like this and turned, that point moves. In fact, I'm going to take a little piece of tape from here, and I'm going to put it right on my forearm. Okay? So if you look at this line, do you see that dot move? That's what's happening. That's what moving in space is. When you see that and you track that line, you say, wow, it created all of that motion. Well, you can imagine when you block and you go like this and you turn, look what that did. It went all over the place. But did you know that when you're doing your form, you know what is happening is you're just focused on what's going on here. It's actually what's going on here, all the way through to here, all the way to the ground. So if I'm like this and I turn, you see it. When I drop my arm, you see it. And you go like this. Can you see what happens to that point? So that's the idea that I want to get across to you, that when you're moving your limbs and you're moving your arms, and we call them bridges, those transitions that you really don't see typically because you can't actually interpret what's going on there, it becomes kind of this abstract movement that's a virtual technique. Once you start to tie into the movement, then there's a real movement there that's actually creating a force and direction. So when we're learning Kung Fu, we're really building ideas of like that, and how do we translate body movement into strength and position? So body mechanics is actually that idea, because we have to take our skeleton and move it, and then move it into positions of strength while it's going through the positions of weakness. What makes it happen fast is coordination and the cycling of the musculature relaxing and contracting. So it is a physical thing on one side, but it's really coordination ultimately on the other side. When you tie all of that together and you control it correctly, then you'll have accuracy and speed as we execute the movement. That's really part of that learning. So that's just a punch. Everyone always talks about the punch. But the thing is, we have lots of different striking surfaces. So if you're like this and you poke, then that's your thrust, right? So your focus is here. Look at my hand go through that. You see that tape that's here. You see what happens? It extends. Look at it tracks and it moves. the line of movement, if I had a line that goes here, you would see it folding and turning. And it really moves in space. So just doing that, say we went thrust, like that in the warm-ups, the hand that's doing that, you see the hand is moving in different directions. Every one of those is a maneuver. So when we go from here to here to here to here, you can see what happens to the arm. It changes a lot of directions in space. So directional movements is what we're actually working with. So if we're here and we cover like this, that's your block. You see that is your block. You intercept here. You see that? That's really going from middle to low. So if you look at the line that's horizontal, then it turns to vertical and it passes through. So between that exchange is what we're doing here. Right? If I chop, you go into the neck. You know, there's been a lot of news on the neck about what happened to that individual. Unfortunately, it hit an area that's very susceptible to actually injuring someone. You know, and we don't want to get too deep into how to injure someone, but the thing is, this area is why we chop. We chop toward the neck or to this area. There's a reason for that because there's a potential to do damage, and also that it's a good area to strike. So the same when you poke like this, it's poking to the throat, or it's poking to areas in this area because it's soft and there's a lot of, you know, major vessel going through here, nerves. So there's a reason for that. And, you know, why do we, in this position, strike toward the temple? So these are areas that we use and define as areas that we strike just as an idea. Because in self-defense, you may have to strike those areas. So those are areas that you would focus on. Or like when you punch, you know, to the chest, or short punch, it goes to the abdominal area, the stomach, or to the ribs, because those are the areas that are susceptible. Okay, so that's why when we throw your punches, you want to have target positions, and just emphasizing the offset stance and then moving into the punch. You want the punch to line up like this, so you have your eyes looking over the top of the fist. You have your fist, you have your knee, and your nose. Okay, so that's the 3 points of alignment. It happens in Kung Fu, it happens in Tai Chi, it happens in all of it. You know, because we always have to center and target toward the apex of that triangle. So it's square like this, and it's angular like this. So this is a non-guard position, and you have that when we do our drills. So on guard position is the triangle. When we punch like this, and we punch like this, and punch like this, punch like that, we're targeting just those two sides, reciprocating back and forth as an action. But look at when my hand goes like this and it goes back, you see the line? It comes in, you see it, then it disappears, and it comes in, then it disappears, because there's an action. And you don't always see that action when you're just kind of going through the motions, so your body doesn't understand it, or you may not understand what happens. But when you have the forward and backward movement, the forward can be intercepting, the backward can be deflecting, and then you happen simultaneously. So when I extend like this and I drop my elbow and then turn back again, there's an action between this, this, and this. So you see low, middle, and high, middle, and low. There's that action that actually is what's critical in responding to something that's coming into your body or toward your body. Because when you're here and you sink your elbow and then turn to a low block and punch out, drop your elbow. So sinking the elbow and relaxing the shoulder is a term used a lot. So sinking or relaxed shoulder is much more than just pressing down. It's releasing and relaxing and allowing your body to create that geometry of position. So that happens even when we go like this. When I go like this, I sink my elbow, relax my shoulder, and I create the salute. So if you create the salute and you're not relaxing your shoulder, you don't get that. So you see my forearm here, then it's here, and it's here. That's what your forearm should be doing. When I'm here, this side, if I put the tape on this side, if I'm here, then it turns like that. You would see that there's a definite maneuver in there that changes the direction of that force. Okay. The diagonal strike that we talk a lot about, there's your upper position, and here's the downward position, right? So where's the focus point is your forearm and there. So if this is the point that we would intercept as a cross, this line can go all the way up the arm with as many as you want, but we just need to have divided into, say, different surfaces, and that would be the surface that you would connect with. Obviously, this area between here and here would be the best potential for the strength, because when you get close to the elbow, it no longer has any strength. The strength as it gets close to the elbow comes in when you're in this position, driving down when you sink. So the elbow direction and the elbow direction really is focused there. This quadrant right here, this half of the arm, was actually where most of the potential for this movement is. As you get closer to here, then you start to lose the potential and the force of that movement. Just like when we do a hook, when we have a hook, the potential is maximum here, and it diminishes as it goes down the arm, gets to the shoulder. So the force and the speed of the movement is really out here. So when we throw our punch, even though the force is there, it just translates through the leg, the body, and then ends up in the hand, and then it ends up in the hand. Now you notice when I throw this next punch, you can't throw this punch like this. It doesn't have power. You have to, from here or here, throw the punch from here. You have to take your elbow back down and then go that way. So before you can actually throw a punch from here to there, you have to actually relax the shoulder. Now, that's in this punch. Now, if your hands are like this, and I step forward like in the third form, it can shoot down from here. Okay, so where the hands come from when you punch really is dictated by the elbow. The elbow will help you define where that direction is going. Now, if your elbows are too far out, this is the worst. This is the best. This is in between, and then this becomes the worst. Okay, you can see, even if you were to lean into someone with your whole body weight, there's no way you can get your arms out. Okay, so now that's a position that you would be on your back doing a bench press. So if you're trying to build your pecs, this is probably the best direction to build your pecs. But the thing is, you're throwing a punch. This pulls it in, and you build that muscle. But this muscle is the one, the bicep is folding, the tricep is the one that pushes it out. So you want to be behind it like this for the best body mechanics, and not throwing a punch out like this. Okay, so that's why when we're here and we punch this way and drop the elbow here, we have a good direction of movement. If you're here, this doesn't work as well, because your body's not designed to throw the punch like that. So remember, when we do our drills, or you're in the squatted position and we uppercut, we pull back, the elbow's here, and then it shoots out, just like that. So that's something that you can understand when you start to improve your form. How do you improve your form? You have to improve your body position. Just like what I talked about earlier, you have to improve your body position to get to the next position. So here, you just can't do this and then still balance. You have to actually do this and then come back. So you break it into like a phase of motion. There's a little unweighting, and then back to position, and then wait. And so there's a little cycle. That's a sequence. That's a sequence of events. Even this, when we uppercut, remove, and punch, before we can actually get to the squatted stance, we have to do this and then go down. Now, if you do this, that's how you end up like this, because you put this down and it's not the right place and you can't get into your stance, so you end up like this. So finding your position really comes from learning to take the weight off of this leg, put it in the right place, and then sit into that leg. If you're going to a cat stance or a turnout, you have to put that foot in the right place before you can actually step up. If you go like this and you didn't put the weight in the right place and you go like that, that's why you end up looking like this. Okay, so there's a lot of strategies that you can learn from doing your basic footwork from the 5 stances on. Okay, so let's look at that. We're like this now. A lot of times we focus on chun kyo. Take a look at this. 1, 2, right? Then we turn. The next thing we do is toe out. So whether you toe out like this and then step up, or toe out like this and step out and then pivot. When we make our next move, we have to go this way through your center to here. Now we have to shift the weight to do this and then here. All right? Next we have to do this. So you see, we shift the weight and turn and then come up. When we shift the weight and turn, we have to fill it here and then step up there and then turn. Now to move this foot, I have to do this. And then I do this. So that's really what has to happen if you want to work on your footwork. Especially 5 stances teaches you all of that type of maneuvering. And if you relearn the 5 stances from the beginning, then that'll teach you how to shift your weight. And ultimately, that shifting of weight will go back into your forms. And then you will actually learn how to move through the form better. So we talk about the 5 coordinators: the hand, the eye, the body, the waist, and the stance. The hand and eye is that coordination. The body is the body positioning the form. The waist is how you turn your shoulders. And then the legs is your footwork. So the footwork covers the sort of the basic structure: horse, leaning, twist stance into the cross stance, or the suspended stance, the cat stance. Suspended because this is really just hanging there. Then you build your transitions. Transitions and leg work is shifting of weight. So once you learn how to do that, and shifting of weight, it really is moving from side to side in position and letting your ankles, your hips, and your knees relax to accommodate those positions. Day 1, when you first started, you went like this, didn't you? Then after getting through all of that, you learn how to pivot your feet. So what we're learning to do is shift our weight, right? Then when we get to the 4th stance, you kind of know how to do that, but you didn't pay attention to it until you get to a point like that. You get to the 5th form, you do your kick, and you're in this position. You're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we end up in this position. What is happening is, especially in the southern style of Hung Gar, that pivoting is really what we develop, right from the beginning, to transition, to shift the weight, and to maneuver into positions. In this form, you're going from offset to here. So how do we get back? So this is the same type of motor skill you're developing in your hands. You have in Fuha. These are maneuvering your joints in direction so that you know how to create directions of stability, or force, or strength. So just to give you an example, when I do a dragon claw, once you're in a dragon claw, your wrist has to be like that. It's not like this. Some people want to do a dragon claw like this. Well, it's not usable. It's not effective. You have to sink and then fold your wrists and then go. So your wrists are like your ankles. They have to maneuver to create a position. So if I'm like this and I move, there's a position. There's a position. You see? So that's a position becomes really a relative position. For kids, for the little kids, that might not really make a whole lot of sense what a relative position is. But for the adults, it sets up your body in a position that's transitional to take out take out any of the weakness in your stability. So if I'm here and I go like this, I have strength here, but then it's weak here. And then if I shift and I turn like this, it actually changes my position and this side and this to give me adjustments to reset my feet. So this is fourth form. So you readjust your alignment. So a lot of times when we're first learning, we don't pay attention to that because we don't see the value in that. But there is value in it. But learning and practicing, you can't discover the value because I told you that it's valuable until you experience the feeling of how balanced you will be, and then you'll understand what the value of that is. And if you get to more advanced forms, when you're making your transitions into, say in the breathing part of one of our forms, we open the stance, and then we have this stance, and we work off of this position, and then sometimes we pivot and we move. A lot of people have trouble with that footwork and feel very unstable, mainly because their footwork hasn't translated. It's really not a connection. Then the other thing is, when you learn something new, it's new, so the body feels awkward and uncomfortable. So learning new forms and so forth, you always will go through that awkward stage until you start to recognize that those are the same movements and ideas. Okay, so that what we went through today is really, really fundamental. Basically, when we work our stances and go into offset, what do we have to do? First is that minute shift of weight. Okay, dropping the stance, drop it. This is actually called a drop stance because you drop here and then so the hips are very important. We just worked on that, of how we can stay directionally 180 degrees and opening up the hips, right? So when we go like this, the hip opens and it closes. But look at, didn't we learn how to do that here? Those two maneuvers, and actually they're kind of working simultaneously. So even shifting here, you kind of have to go weight up, then you have to let your body do that, and then that, and then that. So your body actually is compensating for what's going on there, even though we just kind of wiggle our feet. So listen, what time we got? Oh, okay. So on that note, we're over time. We're going to move on. In a few minutes, we're going to do the advanced Kung Fu, intermediate, and advanced. So give us a thumbs up. Go to YouTube. If you're doing, if you're logging in by the website, actually go to YouTube. You can have access to more content there. Subscribe, and then you'll get notifications. And along with that, that will help our ratings. So I'll see you next time. We're going to do that in about another 10 minutes.